Hey, this is the third video that's covering the buildings in Lord of Ultima. We've now upgraded our town hall to level 4, which gives us yet again 10 more building slots that we can place buildings in, and it gives us a couple more buildings. So the first building that we're going to look at now is the iron mine. The iron mine, like the woodcutter's hut, quarry, and farm, generates resources in exactly the same way, except for it uses this rusty reddish iron. Those are the iron nodes, and it collects iron. The iron is used for just about every, I think, offensive troop. So military players are going to need a lot of iron if you're going to have an army and be supporting an army. You're going to need iron anyway. So iron's also used in some of the research in the title advancements, just like all the other resources that are needed for the title advancements. So the other two buildings are not resource buildings, and they are actually part of the military aspect of this game. The first one is the barracks. The barracks is what your army is housed in, like generally a barracks, historically speaking. And as you build more barracks or upgrade your barracks, you can recruit more troops. You cannot have more troops than are in a barracks unless you find some weird glitch or something. So this applies to troops that aren't your city guards. And our first recruitment building is the training ground. This lets you recruit the first of your basic units that you can use to either raid dungeons or plunder other players early in the game. It's one of the most commonly used units for first castles also. It's the Berserker unit. It costs 150 iron for one unit, so this is now why having a good steady iron income is important, because you're going to be spending it now. So you're going to recruit these if you're going to be on often enough to raid dungeons early on, or even if you're not, it's good to have some, that way you can raid dungeons when you are on, or attack bosses, which we'll cover later. So this is also comes into play a new aspect, or another aspect of the game, and that's recruitment speed. So under your recruitment queue in the left-hand panel, it has these military buildings. These are all the military buildings you can build, and underneath it, it has the recruitment speed percentage. So our training ground right now is just finishing upgrading to a level 3. And so we're going to look here, and when we hover over the Berserker, it's going to tell us that it takes 2 minutes and 49 seconds to recruit one Berserker. Now, this is fine and dandy and all, but especially in castles, as we'll talk later, you're going to want a much higher recruitment speed, because when your troops are being killed in battle or dying at the dungeons, you're going to want them to be replaced quickly so you can use them again. The longer it takes for you to build more troops, the more you're going to be hurting when it comes to either resources that you could have been getting or resources that you're losing from being attacked. So now we have a level 2 and a level 3, and our recruitment speed is now 130%. And we see that it now takes 2 minutes and 34 seconds to recruit one Berserker. So this is pretty basic right now. I generally in first cities don't build more than one training ground, because I'm needing every building that I can get. But since this isn't, I'm trying to show you more in depth different aspects of the game mechanics. So another thing is at level 4, the training ground allows you to recruit a ranger unit. And this is really the first useful defensive unit that there is. It gets garrisoned in your ranger towers also. This is what the ranger tower is for the ranger. 160 wood, which very early game is extremely expensive because you're using wood to upgrade all of your resource buildings and other buildings. But if we look quick here, it's primarily against infantry that it defends, and it defends with 80, whereas the city guard defends everything with 20. So the ranger obviously defends a lot better. It defends cavalry at 20, artillery at 30, magic at 50. So this is just better overall, I guess, than the city ranger. You can also use this unit to raid dungeons instead of just sitting at home eating food. So this concludes the 4th video that is going through all of our buildings in Lord of Ultima. We'll all be back shortly, I hope, with a 5th video as we continue to upgrade our town hall and build up our city in Lord of Ultima.